Hello and welcome to a new session of Watch and Learn training series on EventTracker version 9. In this session, we will look at alert management in EventTracker. EventTracker generates an alert when a critical event occurs, such as security breaches, performance problems, etc. In alert management, you can configure a number of rule-based alerts with customizable event criteria, including support for custom actions for any defined event. If you have a use case where you wish to see an incident that is critical, you can create an alert for that event. If you navigate to Alerts, you can see a very large number of alerts that are already enabled. Sort by active, and you can see the alerts which are already in an active state in your environment. What you will find useful here is that you can edit these alerts, or in rare scenarios, can even create an alert for a hardware failure or an application error. EventTracker does not set up any generic alert for everyone. However, as an administrator, you can customize it depending on your requirement. If you are creating a completely new alert, you can click Add Alert. For example, there is a user who is getting locked out very frequently and you want to know the cause. Typically, it is the pre-authentication failure against the domain controller that is causing the lockout. So, if you want to get an alert as soon as the pre-authentication failure occurs, where you may even want to take some actions, then you can set up an alert for this situation. In this screen, add a name for the alert and then choose Add Rule. This brings you to a screen where you can put any specific criteria that you want to look for in that incident. If it is a Windows-specific incident, mostly it is the Windows event ID that you look for, as they are very unique and do not replicate. In our example, we are taking a pre-authentication failure event ID 4771. In the Match in Description field, you can enter an IP address or a username associated with the event ID. Here, we are looking for a specific user, John Doe, under Match in Description. There are cases where you want to get all of the pre-authentication failures except this one user. In that case, you can enter the user in description exception. Please note that if you have any special characters in the description part, you need to prefix it with a backslash. You can be more granular in your criteria, where you can add the event type, that is audit failure. If you were looking for any hardware or application errors, you can select the event type as error or warning as well. If it is an alert for firewall event or Linux systems, then quite often many of these critical events might show up as event type information. So it is recommended that before proceeding with the creation of alerts, perform a quick search for that specific event. You can also select the Windows logon type from the available list in cases where you are aware of them being related to application monitoring or any security issues. Typically, the Windows event logs will have a source associated with it, and this could be a source like PowerShell in case of a security event, or a syslog in case of firewall or Linux or Unix event. You can now go ahead and save this rule by clicking Add. In the configuration page, you can walk through the options available, which will take you through the steps of customizing the alert. Moving to Event Filters, in our example, the event ID has been specified as 4771. Now, in case you want to provide a list of exceptions, you can do that here. Similar to the event details, you can add the users you want to exclude from this alert. However, here you can create a large filter for the events that you want to filter out. Proceeding to the custom option, where you can specify whether you want to see the alert all the time or you want to apply it only to a certain period. For our example, the pre-authentication failure might occur anytime, and you probably want to see it whenever it occurs. In case you want to specify the time, select Apply Between and select the time range. You can also configure to raise an alert if the same event occurs for a specified count within a particular duration of time. Next, you can choose the systems where you want to run this alert. In our example, we are selecting Contoso Sales as the user John Doe belongs to that particular group. Once you have picked your group, you can navigate to Actions. Here, you can configure actions when the alert gets triggered. You can set an action as an email to be sent to the help desk or to the IT group within your organization. Enter the email ID a subject line which can be very similar to the alert title, for example, pre-authentication failure for John Doe. You can also have an email header, footer, and you could also have an alert email subject prefix, which implies that this can be prefixed with the customer account ID or store ID or any other unique identification. There are also other action items that can be configured. If you have systems where you wish to monitor incidents or a subset of these incidents, or if it is a network-related incident and you want to send it to the network management team, who will receive only SNMP traps, you can provide the trap destination, choosing the SNMP versions available. You can also configure a syslog, which is quite often used by the network team, where they want to see the incidents in the form of a syslog. In addition to this, there are two other options available: the remedial action at the agent and the remedial action at the console. Remedial action at the console is very rarely used to run the customer action on the EventTracker server. There are cases when you see incidents and you might want to run some remedial action at the endpoint. This is where the agent remedial action comes into picture. You can run a custom script or restart services or systems, etc. At the top of the screen, the threat level for the alert indicates the severity of the alert, and the threshold level can be set for alert notifications. Note that the alert notification is sent only when the risk is greater or equal to the threshold. Once you click Finish, it will list it under your group of alerts. Use the search bar in the right corner to look for your alert. You can see that the created alert is now in an inactive state. Enable the button to activate the alert. Once you are done with all of your configuration changes, you can click the Activate Now button. This will execute all the changes in the backend and will set your alert to active mode. Apart from creating alerts, Another option that you might find useful is the cloning of an existing alert. As you can notice, EventTracker has a very large list of alerts available to you, where you do not have to remember any event ID or event details. For example, for the alert Administrative Logon Success, click the Clone Record icon. In the next screen, you can see a complete list of event IDs, the source, the logon type, etc. So, you do not have to go through the efforts of remembering the list of event IDs. Now, the primary purpose of this Administrative Logon Success alert is to track the users trying to log in as the name administrator and raise an incident. But there might be cases where for the same alert, you might want to monitor your own administrator, where all your administrators are either named as ADM or a suffix such as _DA for a domain admin. As a part of the insider threat attack, you might have to monitor some of your administrative logon activities, and this is when you can clone an existing alert and customize it as per requirement. You can now see that the edit option is available for the specific alert. When you clone the alert, you will notice a small suffix added to the alert name. You can rename it to say Contoso Administrative Logon Success and edit it to ADM in the description. So this is now customized to your environment, where you look for Contoso administrators. The event detail criteria remains the same, and if required, you can make changes in the time frame and ensure you select the appropriate group, in our example Contoso Sales, and can go ahead and set up an action item, which could be an email, SNMP, etc. And once you're through with it, click Save As, and you now have a new alert here, which can be activated anytime. In short, the clone option helps you in keeping all of those criteria for a specific alert that EventTracker has already determined. This concludes a brief session on alert management in EventTracker. Stay tuned for more topics that will be following this video. Thank you.